Quarterback in the league. Oh, what a catch by Jay Nathaniel. That touchdown, Hurricanes.
Junior taking a shot deep. Open target. Her third. From left to right. Sets off. Oh,
Down.
watch him. He's going to step. He's going to go for the. It fell from the sky into air and ice hit.
Welcome to Ohio State, home of the Ohio State Buckeyes. We're in Columbus, Ohio. Welcome as we bring week 3 CFSL action as the number 14 ranked Auburn Tigers and the number 6 Ohio State Buckeyes face off for the 8th time in CFSL history. Hello and welcome everyone. Live on YouTube, I am Zach Davis, and joining me in the booth is Ryan Recca. Ryan, we've got an exciting game here. Over 100,000 fans in the stadium. It's muggy, it's nasty, it's raining. What's going on, my man?
Absolutely. What's going on, brother? Excited to call yet another game with you guys. We have some action-packed football laying ahead of us. It'll be interesting to see if Auburn can come from behind the ranked 14th. Ohio State's coming in this game 6th. Auburn leads the leads the series overall. They have it 4-2. We'll see if Ohio State has what it takes to stuff them.
Absolutely. This week, Jason Lemney crossed out on the field. The senior quarterback has really done well for Auburn. We see the option play. I expect a lot of this tonight, Ryan, as we see him fight for a tough 2-yard gain there.
Nothing really going there, obviously. Lemney tried to get his way going on the left side. Couldn't really see much, and that's credit to that defense down there snuffing out that play and making sure they didn't get much.
Lemney with 403 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns on the season. Going to be a shotgun formation. Going to run it, not like what he initially sees. Trips over the defender, and he gets sacked for the loss.
I'm not really sure if I'd call that a sack. That was almost kind of like he sacked himself. But good job by the Ohio State defense making sure that that front seven didn't really have anywhere to go, and he kind of just tripped up on himself.
Looks like the sack or the trip up or whatever we're going to call it was credited to Jalen Terrell from Ellie, Nevada. Congratulations there. Lemmy's going to be faced with a 3rd and 8. Shotgun formation, throwing a deep bomb, bottom of your screen, finding the open man. It's going to be defended there. Great defense by the corner.
Great defense by the corner as well, and not a very good start by Auburn. They had the potential to kind of come here and control the game early, and they fell short.
Both of these ADs, Allen and obviously Pack as well for Auburn and Jeff for Ohio State. Longtime vets of the CFSL, so I'm expecting another great one as we see Gregorio Esteban with the 12-yard turn for Ohio State.
Absolutely, like you said, that's probably going to be the turning point in this game is which team can have the most veterans have impacts there, depending on if it's offense or defense to try to win this game.
Absolutely. As you see a man in motion, it's like the halfback's going to be shotgun formation. They're going to go right to him right here, finding the open room. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. I thought he had a little bit more room there, Ryan, but not getting anything there.
Not getting anything there. And, we've had calls when we're talking about those screens, and unfortunately that screen did not work out for Ohio State.
Columbus, Ohio, light rain, calm, and 76 degrees here. As we see the option run here, going to be a loss of 1. Great defense so far by Auburn.
Absolutely. That was just basically shut down defense. Obviously, you saw Ryder Mears get in there and handle business. He's a big linebacker up there, 6'1", 245 pounds, and he's really showing out for his beginning of his freshman season.
For sure, he absolutely is. Big signing for Auburn here. Radloff going to be faced with a 3rd and 12 here. Corner blitz thrown to that side. Finding the halfback, breaks off 1. Tries to break off the 2nd, but not able to get enough there. Great effort by John Carroll, though.
Great effort by Carroll indeed. He fought hard for those 8 yards, but unfortunately he ran into too many Auburn defenders, and they were able to hold it short and kind of get a do-over for this next drive.
That was a big stop there. Ohio State had great field position, but Auburn's defense able to hold strong there. And their offense comes back out here, Ryan.
We'll see what they can do there. Obviously, as you see, that the Ohio State Buckeyes defense was pretty solid. They only allowed 2 yards on that opening drive. They already had a sack. We'll put an asterisk next to that one because I think he sacked himself, but goes down as a sack, and Ohio State's looking to really make that state. Like I said, they're 6th in the nation, so they're looking to try to edge Auburn here and make a real statement for top 5 team.
Absolutely. Jason Lemmy trying to make a statement there, but he's brought down, looked like a funky little screenplay to the bottom of the field there, Ryan. But no luck there. Lemmy going to be faced with a 2nd and 10 here again. A lot of rain here, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Going to be another read option play. Ohio State finds him. He bounces off the first one in the 2nd, but brought down almost instantly. Ohio State is keyed in on the option so far.
Yeah, you made a good point about the fact that it's raining. Obviously, Auburn isn't traditionally probably going to sit there and pass the game as well, as we know how well that Lemmy does on his feet, and obviously with his rushing touchdowns. So we'll see if they can get it going here, but so far it looks like with him completing no passes, the rain seems to be a factor.
Definitely a big factor there. Looks like Lemmy found the open man there, Ryan, but just not able to get his feet in bounds, and just like that, another 3rd and out for this Auburn offense.
Pretty back and forth. We'll see if Ohio State can pretty much, give something to answer here. They return the field, and Esteban there had a nice return to set up Ohio State on the right side of the 50 and hopefully have a chance to score here this drive.
Esteban, the leading receiver for this Ohio State wide receiver group, with a nice return there. Be a 1st and 10 here. Radloff going to be surveying the field, trying to find something. Finds the open man, tight space there, Ryan, but a great 1st down reception.
Great 1st down indeed, and Esteban picks up his 1st reception for 10 yards. That should put him at about 138 more receiving yards to become the 3rd Ohio State player overall with 2,000 receiving yards in their career.
Congratulations there. Big historic moment coming up for him. You see the drop down pass to the big man, Joe Adams, with a 4-yard gain.
They're doing a really good job right now, obviously spreading the ball to the different receivers. Radloff is making sure he's utilizing all of his weapons and trying to keep this defense on their toes.
Faced with the 2nd and 6, Radloff definitely going to be trying to keep utilizing his weapons here, feeling the pressure, gets it off just in time, and completes the pass to Jalen Thomas. He got absolutely hit there when he threw it.
Great awareness by Thomas, and even greater, cognizant ability to hold on to the ball. Half the game of football is basically being able to hold on the ball and take big hits and not drop it, and he did exactly what was needed out of that Ohio State play.
Ohio State going to be trying to keep utilizing this momentum here as John Carroll gets an 8-yard rush there. Carroll, really a dual purpose running back here. You and I were talking, Ryan. Has some decent yards on the ground, but he's definitely a check down option for him for sure. faced with a 2nd and 2 here. Radloff going to look to capitalize here. Corner blitz finds the tight end. Going to be brought down. Big tackle there by number 43 for Auburn's defense.
Yeah, Adams had that previous play where he basically had the same kind of reception route on the right side of the field. They flipped him, went to the left side of the field, and Auburn's not really providing an answer to him as far as the coverages are going. So I think Ohio State's going to keep abusing that, trying to get into the end zone.
The under center here going to give the ball to the halfback who bulldozes to the end zone. John Carroll with a tough 5-yard touchdown run.
Tough 5 yards, but he made it look easy from up here. He obviously had great blocking down there by his offensive line. That was a good play call by Ohio State, and they're able to strike first in this matchup.
Ohio State featuring elite halfback John Carroll there, as we saw. They've also got elite senior halfback Cody Davis, so 1-2 punch for this Ohio State offense. Lots of weapons and a great drive there as Ohio State goes up 7-0 over Auburn.
Momentum swing, obviously, to Ohio State. It's critical in the game. You know, we've only played about 3 minutes, but Auburn needs to come up with an answer here if they're going to keep it, you know, pretty close to this game.
Still very early on as Auburn's looking to get some momentum here. Nice return there. Kevin Kretzer the second with a 25-yard return. Quick update over there on Twitch. UNC, the Tar Heels, are up 21-0 over West Virginia. As it's a 7 minutes and 21 seconds in the second there. Make sure you guys have both games on as we return here. Ryan, what are you looking forward to for this Auburn offense to get going?
I'm going to look to see, obviously, and see if Jason Lemon can get what it takes to go on the ground right there. Obviously, we see a pretty good run to Brody Bailey right there, but, you know, Lemmy's basically carried it on his back with his rushing touchdowns and his versatility on the ground. If the rain's too much of a factor here, they need to kind of abuse that run game and catch Ohio State off guard.
Absolutely. 5'11", 200, Knoxville, Tennessee product. Brody Braley with the 7-yard run there. Jason Lemmy's shotgun formation once again. Tight end going to be in motion, top of your screen here. So he's going to do another running play, going up, and he's trying to fight. They actually gave it to him. That was a close call, Ryan, but great effort there.
Extremely close call. I was actually going to say that Ohio State did a great job holding him just shy of that first down marker, but I guess the refs disagreed down there.
Jason Lemmy, shotgun formation once again, tight end in motion. Going to be passing this time, Ryan. Going to be not liking what he's seeing. Quarterback draw right down the middle of the field. Get some extra yards here, fumble. The wide receiver's able to get one. Ryan is the 30, 25, 15, 10. One man to beat. The weirdest play I've seen in forever. Nick James with the 50-yard run.
I think I spooked him down there when I was saying when I wanted to see what he could get going there on the ground. He obviously did that quarterback design run, was able to run for an amazing pass, kind of just fumbled it forward to his teammate there, who was able to almost score it off that scoop there. That was definitely an interesting play.
All 6'6", 235. Nick James fighting for his life as we see him check out here. Jason Lemmy going to be looking to throw the halfback screen, bottom of the field, getting some positive yardage there. Thane Lewis with the 4-yard catch.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about those halfback screens. They work, you know, only maybe about 20% of the time, but I'm glad to know that Never Satisfied in chat said that they actually designed that fumble run to be that way. So A+ for style.
Absolutely. You see a halfback draw once again. Gabe Miller brought down for the 1-yard gain. We'll be faced with a 3rd and 5 here, Ryan.
Just like that, Ohio State's doing what they can to try to control the tempo. They're inside the 10-yard line. They have their backs up against the wall, and they're going to try to force this, and maybe Auburn can only come away with 3.
Big play here for sure. Lemmy feeling some pressure from the Ohio State's defense. Throws the lob pass. Finds the open man. Thane Lewis with the 7-yard touchdown reception.
Lemmy must have been feeling the pressure, but he held in there like a champ and obviously kind of just lobbed that pass to the end zone. They're throwing a lot of these out routes and quick passes to the outside, and it's been paying off for them, and they come away with a good touchdown.
Thane Lewis, the freshman from Liverpool, New York, leading receiver for Auburn with his 4th touchdown on the season there, Ryan. Definitely an interesting start to that drive, to say the least, but credit to Auburn. They're able to capitalize, and they're on the board, 7-7.
It almost reminded me of whatever that martial arts fighting style from back in the day used to be, where they kind of just were appearing to be drunk on the field and making all these weird type of movements to catch their enemies off guard, and then in the end they just, you know, kick the crap out of them.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like there for Auburn. As we see Dennis Graham with a 20-yard return here. It's going to be 7-7, Ohio State, Auburn. Great game over here, Ryan, so far. A reminder, light rain, as we can see, I'd consider it even moderate to heavy. Calm wind, 76-degree night here in Columbus, Ohio. Radloff through a play action pass, throwing a dime to the outside. Arthur Hanna with the 19-yard catch.
And he did a great job just sticking to the sideline, doing what he knows best. You know, Radloff's starting off pretty hot too. He hasn't missed a throw so far. He's 7 of 7. And Ohio State's doing what they need to do in the air to pretty much answer for what Auburn's been doing on the ground.
It reminds you of the game last night, Ryan, where we had Ryan Smith of Boise start off with 22 straight completions. Let's see if Radloff has some motivation from that. 1st and 10 here. Play action pass. Feel the pressure. Gets off the man, trying to throw something. I don't know what to say there, Ryan, but Khalif Smith with the extra effort with the sack, man.
Khalif Smith, if you doesn't work, try again. And he just got up and said, okay, let me try that again, and was able to, you know, just take him down for the sack. I would have expected, you know, with his type of seniority down there on the field and you know, ability to read the field, that Radloff would have tried to throw it away after he escaped that first sack, but they ended up taking a big loss.
Absolutely there. Nice pressure there by the three-star sophomore. Going to be under centers. Radloff this time going to be a halfback run to the outside, getting some positive yardage, stiff arming for some extra room. John Carroll getting back to the original line of scrimmage.
Not a bad call to try to get Carroll to, you know, move some momentum downfield. As we had spoken about a little bit earlier in the game, you know, he's very a versatile back. He's almost a two-way back. You know, he can play wide receiver, and he's also a very good halfback. So it was a good play call by them, but obviously they just came up short on that play.
Came up short. Big man Raven Remington, 6'3", 363 pounds from Denison, Iowa, with a deflection there. What a big old beast out there, Ryan.
That's a corn-fed boy, huh?
That is a
Did they do corn in Iowa or is that Nebraska?
Probably both. I mean, Cornhusker is Iowa. We'll have to ask somebody. We'll have to check it out there. Regardless, great effort by him there. Definitely going to be looking to go to the Pro League at some point. As we see Auburn's offense back out there looking to capitalize on the great drive, possible option run play here, Ryan. And that's exactly what they do. Got some open room, and he gets blasted there at the end.
Yeah, good design run play. Obviously, Remy picked up about, 9 yards. Didn't really have a chance to pitch it, decided to keep it, and obviously paid the price on that run.
Don't want your quarterback getting hit all that often, especially like that, as we saw last night. Couple fumbles in the game we called. Let's definitely keep an eye on that. 2nd and 1 here, shotgun formation. Throwing to the outside, almost intercepted by Connor Newman.
Newman almost had himself a pick 6.
Connor Newman had nobody in front of him. That's actually a linebacker. I thought that was a corner. Great coverage by the linebacker there. Option run play once again. Ohio State was on it from the start. Great play there. Matt Fields with a 2nd tackle for loss.
Yeah, Fields is obviously blowing up the backfield right there. Lenny really didn't have anywhere to go, and just like that, Auburn's got to turn the ball over.
Matt Fields, the Ohio product from Cleveland, 6'4", 260, making the big play there. Back and forth game, very evenly matched as Ohio State once again gets the ball back. 7-7, 1 minute and 27 seconds. Flag on the play here, though.
Clipping.
The infamous clipping call, Ryan. It seems like we get a couple of them a game.
Never fails on returns.
Call for it.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that. Obviously, you got to be aware of where the defender is that you're trying to take out, and you can't come like that from behind and try to trip him up.
Quick update over on Twitch. West Virginia storming back. They're up down 14-21, and they're about to score here. 3rd and goal, and they're actually going to be a live score. West Virginia going to be tying the ball game up over there on Twitch. Down 21-0. Now they've tied it up, Ryan. Great game over there, guys. Make sure you're over there as well as we get back here in Columbus, Ohio. Radloff under center here. Play action pass the lefty. Throwing it a dot to Jalen Thomas with the 7-yard reception.
You know, they came up with 7 yards there, but I don't like the play call. He kind of was looking a little desperate down there. He threw that into triple coverage. Luckily, he was able to hit his wide receiver and kind of come up with 3rd for short, but could have probably called something else on that 2nd.
Auburn through the zone blitz out. I'm able to get rid of it just in time. John Carroll with a 9-yard reception. Looked like the safety was trying to bat it down there at the line, Ryan.
100%, but, in Carroll they trust. They're going to sit there and, use him as a wide receiver to kind of throw that defense a little off kilter, and this time it worked. They were able to pick up the 3rd down and then some.
Screen play, which are always so dangerous. A little miscommunication, maybe a bubble, and the wide receiver ran the wrong route, but they're going to give him an incompletion here on 1st down.
first quarter nerves, man. He obviously decided he wanted to go long for it, and then QB wasn't on the same page, and he threw it pretty behind him for an incompletion.
5 wide. Logan Radloff going to the extra man, but there's going to be a penalty here once again. Let's see what they got here.
Interesting call.
I haven't seen those
Offensive
in a while.
passer
John
interference,
Carroll.
yeah.
Interesting play call. That one's going to be tough for Ohio State as they're faced out the 2nd and 20. AD Jeff Mel not happy with that one as we see.
I would not be happy either. You know, they practice these kind of things while they go throughout the game, prepping for each week, every game like that, and some things like that are just inexcusable.
And John Carroll just about makes up for it there with a 12-yard reception, 3rd and 8 here as we're under 30 seconds in his first quarter, Ryan. Radloff going to be shotgun formation here. Tight end standing in the block. He's feeling the pressure from Auburn. Off his back foot, Joe Adams with the diving catch.
Joe Adams with a phenomenal athleticism on display there. He knew he kind of came up short. He wasn't running fast enough, so he had to dive for that ball. In this type of weather conditions as well, you know, he could have had a potential to slip on that turf down there, and the rain's making it hard to catch the ball. So that was just a great overall show of his physical ability.
We're under 10 seconds here. Radloff getting rid of it. Hit as he threw there. John Carroll with the catch. 2nd and 5.
Cole Smith with the tackle. That's the cornerback for Auburn. He did a pretty good job at making sure he kind of had that sideline tackle. He was able to catch the ball, couldn't, deflect or anything like that, but he made sure he wrapped up for a great tackle and, held him right there so they didn't get any additional yards.
As we conclude the first here, it's 7-7 Auburn and Ohio State. Stay tuned. You're watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube. We're back here. Ryan Radloff feeling the pressure. The halfback who hasn't missed anything yet drops that one.
Yeah, Carroll's also feeling the pressure when you get these big middle linebackers and even some of these corners for Auburn in your face when you're trying to make a pass. It definitely makes it about 10 times harder to come down with those receptions.
Radloff throwing a bomb, finding the open man, getting the touchdown. Jalen Thomas making it look easy.
I was just about to say how easy that looked. Radloff and Thomas had that beautiful connection right there. It was a perfectly timed throw up and over the Auburn defenders. They didn't really see that coming. He beat 12 on the sideline like that, and they made him pay.
Thomas, the halfback and wide receiver, multi-talented athlete, making the big play for Ohio State. First play starting the second quarter, and that's one way to start off, Ryan.
We've talked about, the other calls that we've had this week and the games that you and I have shared, and momentum's a big factor, right? Especially when you have a game that's as close as this. If you have the ability to score and score big like that in that kind of manner, it's going to, kind of just tip that scale ever in your favor, and hopefully your defense can ride that out to get another stop on Auburn here.
Especially with this Auburn team, they are known for the run. Let's see what they've got dialed up here. A.D. Allen and Coach Pack out there looking to get some momentum here as we start a 1st and 10 about the 22-yard line. Jason Lemke going to be shotgun formation once again here, surveying the field, tight end in motion. Little option run. The halfback gets the keeper here, and a nice, steady 8-yard rush by Brody Bailey.
Great attempt by Bailey. You see he's obviously averaging over 6 yards a carry when he's rushing. He should be able to keep that up, as long as that O-line carries out their assignments, and we'll see if he has, the next 2 quarters play out with them in the same fashion.
There'll be another halfback run here. Great decision to go on the outside. Brody Bailey with the huge first down run.
Yep, added an average, a yard average as well. Great awareness and great cut by Bailey to take it to the outside.
Absolutely, as you see Jason Lemke, shotgun formation, little wide receiver, middle screen there. Nice play call by Auburn. First of the night, Thane Lewis with a 19-yard reception.
I like the play call, and I like the tempo that Auburn's moving. They had 2 successful run plays, and then they drew that kind of over-the-middle pass right there to pick up a huge chunk of yardage. And so far, it looks like they have an answer to Ohio State's score just a couple moments ago.
Ohio State and Auburn have played 7 times so far. Ohio State holding the lead 4-3, but they haven't played in 9 seasons, so great matchup we're getting here. 2 historic teams. You see Brody with the run, trying to get some extra yardage, able to get one here.
Nothing doing for Bailey on that one. He's still at that 6-yard average. Excuse me.
Still a 6-yard average, very respectable in this league. As we've seen the D lines that are out there, Lemke going to be doing a play action pass, throwing off his back foot, unable to complete the pass there.
Lemke was feeling the pressure. Obviously, he had to try to get the ball off a little early. It was a good credit by the Auburn wide receiver to try to come back and make something of it, but that rain probably was a factor in having, why he dropped that ball.
Halfback screen to the walk-on, and he couldn't get anywhere. Gabriel Miller brought down for a 1-yard loss. Ohio State once again gets the big third down stop.
Not a good first catch by Miller. Obviously, you go down as a negative 1 yard. Ohio State wasn't fooled. They had all of their defensive backs in the positions to make that stop, and came up big for that 4th and 10.
As most people know, I'm not the biggest fan of screens, Ryan, but in this weather, in this game, top 15 matchup, I actually like that play call, very conservative, as Auburn kicks it off here.
Speaking of not a fan of, I'm personally not a fan of Ohio State as a program, but I have to say that these camo uniforms that they have with the black helmets are probably some of the sickest uniforms I've seen.
Definitely. We've got some great uniforms all across the league here. 1st and 10. Radloff going to start off with a halfback run. Auburn's first man not able to bring him down. Second not able. And it looks like the 3rd and 4th are finally able to bring down John Carroll.
That's what happens when you practice every week to keep your feet moving, keep that momentum. Obviously that whole inertia thing comes into play if you ever paid attention in high school science, but that was just a great job by Carroll to not let that play basically, fumble for the backfield, and was able to pick up a hard fought 5 yards.
Even Remington with the sack. Looked like Radloff once again tripped up a little bit on his own man, trying to escape the pressure there. Nice play setting up a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, the credit obviously will go to Auburn for that stop, but we were saying down there when you're lining up behind those big O-line boys, it gets pretty hard to see sometimes, and if you just are ever so slightly to the left or the right, you run that risk of running into them and just kind of fumbling.
Auburn risking it, calling the blitz there, and Radloff able to capitalize. Big 1st down catch by Jalen Thomas.
Good play call by Auburn to try to push that momentum in their favor and put pressure, but it didn't work out, and obviously you got to take a risk. Sometimes you get burned.
Yeah, taking a risk, halfback toss are always a tough plays, as Ryder Mears was on that from the start. As we look at the highlight, he was in the backfield before the halfback was there, Ryan.
Mears was using some of his previous game experience to try to blow that play up in the backfield, and that's exactly what he did.
Radloff going to give it right back to the halfback. Auburn's run D has been on it tonight so far, as John Carroll is able to get 2 yards, but a 3rd and 11 he's faced with.
Auburn's doing a very good job at containing Carroll, especially into the 2nd quarter here. They kind of got the best of him in the 1st quarter, but they seem to make the good proper adjustments in the 2nd quarter to hold him to basically no gains.
Radloff on the bomb, finding the open man once again. Jalen Thomas with the bomb, 44-yard reception.
Jalen Thomas is already over 100 yards. Radloff's got his 200-yard mark, 15 to 19 passes, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Just do it again. Luckily, you had the defender there, Cole Smith, was able to come up with that touchdown-saving tackle basically, and try to breathe some life back into this Auburn defense.
Absolute dot by Radloff. Only one window to throw to, and he gets it. Tight end in motion, bottom of the screen. Going to be a halfback fake here. Play action, throwing a laser. Finally,
wide
man. Jalen Thomas, 2nd touchdown of the night.
Yep, Jalen Thomas is absolutely on fire right now. That connection between him and Radloff is pretty much uncontested. He was all alone in the backfield right there, swimming in that sea of red in the end zone right there, and just an absolutely well-designed play by Ohio State, and they're looking to take that dominant lead.
Ohio State, speaking of dominant, 2-0 on the season with a dominant win over Illinois 31-3 and over Iowa 62-30. Brian really played great this season. I would say one of the biggest surprises.
Yeah, absolutely. Ohio State's, like I said, they're trying to make a statement here. They want to say, even though Auburn's 14, Auburn's led this series, as you had said. I think it was 4-2 right now. And if Ohio State comes up big right here and, is able to outscore Auburn extremely well, like some of the other games we've seen earlier this week throughout the league, there could be some strong contention that the coaches poll moves Ohio State up, 5th, maybe even 4th, depending on how some of the other games play out. Excuse me.
Brody Bailey with a 3-yard rush there, getting his 33rd yard of the night. Definitely a good balance for this Auburn offense, but not a whole lot of big plays. I think that's the biggest difference so far, Ryan.
That is the biggest difference, absolutely. Ohio State's, coming up with these pass plays that are picking up 40, 50 yards and, mismatching defenders in order to get some pretty easy touchdowns, on some corner routes. But Auburn's still kind of hinging on that run game, which they do fairly well, but it looks like Ohio State came with an answer this game.
Speaking of the answer, Connor Newman, the outside linebacker, with the big play there on the option run. Lemmy faces the 3rd and 4 with Dina Dot to the outside, fighting the open man. Breaks out the first, breaks out the second tackle. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Dane Lewis with the 69-yard touchdown reception.
Dane Lewis is over there, talking smack to Jalen Thomas, saying anything you can do, I can do better. As that's exactly what Auburn needed to kind of jump right back into this game. It took them less than a minute to drive over 70 yards down the field, and you and I were just talking about how they kind of needed to abandon that run game and look for some bigger plays, and that's exactly what they dialed up.
Dane Lewis has been that big play receiver for Auburn all season long. The elite freshman from Liverpool, New York, with a big-time play there, Ryan. They definitely needed that.
Momentum seems to be swinging back in their favor. Just like that, they're already down 7. They hold Graham to an okay return. He's returned some of these kicks for 25 plus. I think he even had like a 28-yard earlier. So it's all on this Auburn defense to try to get him back in this game.
Auburn has played well this season. 2-point loss to LSU last week and a 44-24 win over Georgia week 1. As you see the completion there to Logan Radloff. Auburn has been in each game so far. They're playing competitive this season. Let's see if they can keep that up.
Absolutely, as you see that, Jalen Thomas is, doing what he does best. He's basically alone in the sea of white, make sure that he gets his hands around that ball and comes up big, with the first down as an opening statement here for Ohio State as soon as they get the ball back.
In between the linebacker and the safety there, going to be Radloff, going to be 5 wide here, 1st and 10, going to be surveying the field, finding the open man, those dots, again to Gregorio Esteban with the 15-yard catch.
Esteban's obviously creeping up towards that career high goal for 2,000 yards. He hasn't really necessarily been the go-to man, but when he's open, Radloff and him having good enough communication where he can get him the ball and know that he's going to come down with it.
Update over on Twitch. They're back from half, and they're tied 28-28. West Virginia, UNC. Great game over there as we return back to YouTube. Batted down by the linebacker there for Auburn.
Good awareness by Broccoli to bat that ball down. If you're not going to try to go for that interception or anything like that, you just kind of stick a hand out there and disrupt the pass.
He's 2nd and 10 here, tight end in motion here. Going back to his original position. Going to be a passing play here. Throwing to the running back, I think, or maybe even the fullback, Corbin Archer with the 6-yard reception.
Great hands by Archer right there. He took a pretty big hit at the end of that. It was a pretty short, connection from Radloff, but Ryder Mears was there again as he's now recorded his 5th tackle.
Ryder Mears was a big-time pickup for this Auburn program. Definitely liking what he's doing so far as we've seen there. But Ohio State faced with a 3rd and 4, under 4 minutes here, up 21-14. Let's see if they got dialed up. Radloff shotgun formation here, trying to find the open man. Going to be throwing a dot to the outside, 1 man to beat, and it's almost intercepted by the Auburn defender.
Yeah, I'm not really sure I like that matchup. If you obviously compare Michael Clenenden to Jalen Thomas, number 9 for Auburn's a lot taller. He's 6'3". Jalen Thomas only 5'8". It's a bit of a height mismatch there, but he definitely tried to, thread the needle there and just came up short.
Radloff tried to thread the needle. Ohio State with a brave play call there. Remington and co. brought him down. Big time stop for Auburn there, Ryan.
Huge play by Raving Remington. Obviously, we didn't really get to talk about him during the pregame, but he was sitting at 8th in the CFSL with 7 sacks, and obviously he can add to that total and try to climb up that ladder with this game if he can get some more pressure.
Absolutely. Jason Lemmy with a 9-yard rush. Auburn playing into their game plan so far, looking nice as we're under 3 minutes and 30 seconds. 2nd and 1 here, Ryan. Shotgun formation once again. 2 receivers top and bottom of your screen. Wide receiver in motion, potential option play. They're going to do exactly that. He's going to keep it. He's going to get absolutely blasted at the end of the play, though.
Yeah, it looked like almost kind of a miscommunication right there as he, almost ran into his offensive line there. But that was just a good overall effort by Jason Lemmy to kind of move the sticks, reset the downs, and a decent run play out of him.
Option play once again. Nice, decent run plays. Jason Lemmy bounces off the 2nd and 3rd defender there. 9-yard rush. Lemmy is looking like he's heating up here.
Good decision by Lemmy and good read down there to try to bounce between his O-line. It looked like he may have wanted to try to design that to go to the outside, but made the good read there, went up the middle, and they came up big with 9 yards.
Another option play. If it's not broke, don't fix it there. Nice block by the O-lineman. He's got 20-10. Brought down at the 7-yard line. Big touchdown saving tackle there by the defender.
Absolutely, and as you see there, Lemmy's already got 79 yards rushing. He's heating up. He's got 11 rushes, and Ohio State really needs to kind of keep their eye on him to put, either more pressure with some blitzes or some outside pressure from cornerbacks, to try to stop this rushing attempt out on him.
Madden with a big-time touchdown saving tackle there. An option play once again, brought down for a 1-yard gain there. Gavin McFadden with the big-time tackle on 2nd and goal.
Yeah, there wasn't really anything going on there. When you try to pass it off like that to one of your fellow teammates, Bailey's not quite as versatile in some cases like that. Ohio State wasn't fooled on that play.
Give it right back to the halfback who fights in the end zone. Brody Braley with the 6-yard touchdown run. That's as tough as it gets there, Ryan.
Tough as it gets indeed. He showed, his tenacity on that particular play. He just got blown up the play before, but it's all about heart and effort. He fought forward and just kind of fell over those 2 Ohio State defensemen into the end zone there to try to answer up before the half.
Big time play there for Auburn as we're close to 6 minutes. Update over on Twitch. West Virginia kicks the field goal to go up 31-28 over UNC. 6 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock.
Looks like we got 2 close games right now.
2 close games, and again, West Virginia premiered their new field. Looks like some new uniforms, possibly to me as well, Ryan. Looking good there as you see Ohio State return the ball here.
Look good, feel good, play good, right?
That's what somebody says. I mean, that's as we look at the highlights here, Jalen Thomas has got to be feeling that way. What a stud, man.
Absolutely. There's really nothing wrong that Ohio State is doing. I think, even though the score is tied up, Auburn's done a great job kind of playing from behind in a way, making sure that they stay in there. Ohio State seems to still be within full control. They got 2 minutes to do a standard 2-minute drill and score before the half, and, they look firmly in the driver's seat still.
Radloff talking about being firmly in the driver's seat. Him and Jalen Thomas, they're on the highway going on as fast as they want. Jalen Thomas with his 8th catch of the night, Ryan.
Absolutely, and I think they're actually in that HOV lane right there because the 2 of them, can take up that occupancy lane, and they're on their way, cruising down the highway going about 90 miles an hour right now, and Auburn's having a hard time keeping up.
I love how that's exactly what I was saying, and you knew what I was talking about, Ryan, my man.
It pays to know who you play call with.
That's right, my man. Logan Radloff, 2nd and 3 here. Auburn sending the pressure. Auburn able to bring him down. Tough sack there. Nice play call, Ryan.
And just like that, they seem to encounter some traffic on the highway as there was absolutely nothing doing there as those Auburn defenders were able to kind of swarm in the backfield and shut it down early for forcing that 3rd and long.
It's interesting to see if either team calls a timeout. Auburn probably won't here with how dynamic Ohio State's offense is, but 5 for 8 on the night for 3rd down, Ryan. What are you looking for here?
I'm looking for them to just repeat what they've been doing, right? They're going to try to take Jalen Thomas over the top, try to force that mismatch and get some points here, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get that off in time.
They're not going to be able to get it off at all. Moose Merciless, 6'2", 285 from Raleigh, North Carolina with the sack. And just like that, Ryan, Auburn gets the ball back with a lot of time to work here.
This is Auburn's time to shine. Like I had mentioned earlier, they've been playing from behind pretty much the first 2 quarters of this game. They have an opportunity to take a lead, which I believe would be the first lead of the game for them. Yeah. They've got plenty of time. They're sitting, what is that, roughly about just shy of 60 yards to go. They've got 2 timeouts. It's their turn to be in the driver's seat, see if they can't come up with some points.
And I mean, much to heard here as he throws a dot to Thane Lewis. Update over on Twitch. Scoring alert. UNC gets a touchdown there, 35-31, 6 minutes. As you said, Ryan, we've got 2 great games going on right now. We've
been talking a lot and giving a lot of credit to Jalen Thomas for that Ohio State wide receiver core, but obviously, we failed to mention that Thane Lewis is having himself a night as well. He has just about the same amount of average. I don't think he has quite as much yardage as that, but the connection there is, something else to not be ignored. Very impressive. And speaking of it, you were talking about him. He hurt you once again. Thane Lewis with a 9-yard reception. Let's see if Auburn, they're going to call a timeout. I thought they might go hurry up, but nice play call there. Jason Lemmy, shotgun formation, 2 receivers top of your screen here. Going to be surveying the field, doing the drop down pass. Great play call there, going to Brody Bailey with the 5-yard reception. And they're calling hurry up here, Brian. Good decision. They're trying to save that last time out for when they absolutely need it. It's be interesting to see if they're trying to peg it in for 7 points here or they're comfortable getting into field goal territory.
See what they do here. Brody Bailey, another 9-yard catch here. Second one, still lots of time here. Let's see what they got dialed up here. 2 receivers top of your screen. Brody Bailey's not taking any time, trying to find it, and they go right back to him here. Clock stops here in college, Ryan.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Bailey's been a phenomenal impact player for them this drive. He's picking up about 7 yards every time they throw him the ball, so we'll see if they continue that success here.
31 seconds here, throwing it once again. Brody Bailey gets blasted there, though.
Yeah.
Sure, runner 20 seconds here, Ryan. Let's see what they can do here. 2nd and 9. Tying it in motion, top of your screen. Maybe taking some time here. Risky play call, maybe one play, then the field goal. Let's see what they got, Ryan.
I'm not really sure. They probably could have done 2 plays there.
Could have done 2, and it looks like they could go for one more here, Ryan. And they are. This is always a risky play with 6 seconds, man.
It's going to have to be one of those quick dump-off passes and then call a timeout as soon as you cross that first down marker, I guess.
A.D. Allen going to brisk it with his offense. Still confident it works out for him. Auburn on the board with the extra point. They're going to be going up 28-21. Risky play call, Ryan, and it works out in Auburn's favor.
We had talked about that earlier, right? Auburn had dialed up a risky play on defense a couple of drives back, and Ohio State was able to burn them. But this time, Auburn, dialed up that risky play. They had about 3 seconds left on the clock, as you see there, and they came up big for their first lead, and I think the biggest statement of the game so far.
And these two teams are historic in the CFSL, first time matching up in 9 seasons, and we've got a heck of a game, Ryan.
Absolutely, this game is just neck and neck. Ohio State hasn't given up by any means. We're heading into halftime, and it's looking to be definitely almost like a hard-fought shootout the next 2 quarters.
At halftime, it's the Auburn Tigers up 28-21 over the Ohio State Buckeyes. Ryan, what are your thoughts as we head into the studio?
The game didn't really start off as even as we thought. Ohio State came out pretty hot. They took an early lead. They looked very commanding on the field. We're making all the right choices, but Auburn has slowly kind of figured it out. You can see the cogs turning for the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator on the sidelines. They're making better play calls. They're using Lemmy and co to their ability. They're just doing everything they need to do to answer back. They're sitting pretty. They head back into halftime up 7, first lead of the game, and I think they put the pressure, rightfully so, on Ohio State to try to see if Ohio State can have an answer to come back.
If you look at the first half stats here, Ohio State with 0 rushing yards, Auburn with a more balanced attack. And I think the most when you look at these stats here, most of them don't really tell the story. Ryan, these do. Ohio State's had an electric offense on the passing, and Auburn's been balanced on both ends. A very clean game, no turnovers, a time of possession, very balanced. And as you look at the game here, 28-21 Auburn, we've got a heck of a game here. Top 15 matchup, Ryan.
Absolutely. This has been nothing but, exciting play after play. It's very close. And I just think it's very interesting, like you said, that the stark contrast is that Ohio State has so much passing yardage compared to 0 rushing. They're using John Carroll in that kind of, wide receiver aspect, and any rushes he's done, Auburn's had a good job at, basically negating that and pushing them back further and further to come up with a big fat goose egg there to enter this 3rd quarter.
And Jalen Thomas, as we look at the stats here, heck of a game track. We appreciate you guys showing that. He's been all over the place as we see 8 receptions, 167 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Ryan, that's good for most receivers in one game. That's in one half.
Absolutely. Still got 2 quarters to play. We'll see if he, maybe even gets a little bit greedy and tries to double that yardage.
Let's see what he can do here. Radloff going to be in shocker formation, feeling the pressure. It's going to be another bomb, finding the open man. Almost intercepted by the Auburn defender.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that. I'm not really mad at that play call. It's the first drive and the first play, heading in after you guys make some halftime adjustments. But you got to make sure you throw that ball a little harder and try to get it to your open wide receiver.
Auburn sending the blitz here. Ohio State finds the open lane, throws it to the other side of the blitz. 1 man to beat. Auburn corners coming from the opposite end zone. 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Ryan. Ohio State on the board.
And just like that, Carroll must have heard us right before they came out of the tunnel for that 2nd quarter, or the 2nd half adjustments right there. They had 0 rushing yards on the board, and they jumped up to 76 right there as none other than John Carroll ran it in for an amazing opening drive for Ohio State to answer back to Auburn.
You and I saw it up here, Ryan. Auburn called a zone blitz from the bottom of the screen. Ohio State called the run play to the opposite side. You could not have called that any better if you're Ohio State's offensive coordinator.
Absolutely. You got to think, I'm big when it comes to kind of like percentage chances and how those things kind of play out. And the fact that that particular zone blitz was called as soon as Ohio State wanted that run up the middle was just, the chances of that, basically, the percentage is very low that matches up. But Ohio State was able to come up big to answer back quick.
So look at the drives here. Auburn has scored the last 3 drives, touchdowns. We're seeing a bomb from Lemmy, finding the open man. He's getting his feet in bounds. Nate Hayes, welcome aboard there. First catch of the night.
Good evening to Hayes, as he is now woken up. Obviously, he's fully engaged after the halftime adjustment that they made. And Auburn says it's okay if we just gave up 76 yards on a touchdown. We're going to throw it, almost just as far and try to get back into this game. And it's just been going back and forth all night.
Great game so far. Happy to be calling this one for sure. Ryan Lemmy going to be in shotgun option run. Blasted the second he was hit there. It's going to be Cody Davis, the senior from San Diego, California.
Cody Davis was not fooled on that play, obviously, and if you take that Davis-Bailey matchup, I'm probably going to take Davis all day.
Absolutely there. Cody Davis, the senior, heck of a player for Ohio State. Play action pass by Lemmy, throwing it down the middle of the field, getting some positive yardage, which is all you can ask for. Nick James with a 6-yard reception.
Yep, like we had spoken, in the game that we called last night, forward progress is what you kind of need. Sets up, for a shorter third down than you were facing, obviously, since it was 2nd and 10. But we'll see if they have what it takes to convert.
3rd and 6 here. Lemmy feeling the pressure. Hit as he threw there. Connor Newman looks like he hit his hand. Great play there, and it looks like a great stop by Ohio State. A good stop on 3rd down, but Auburn is going for it here, Ryan.
I'm not really sure about the play call going for it. I like the tenacity. Obviously, Auburn's been, calling risky plays all game so far.
A risky play call, and it works out for him. Nick James once again. A great catch, second of the drive. Big time play from the 6'6" wide receiver, Ryan.
Yeah, if I'm Ohio State defensive coordinator right now, I've definitely snapped my clipboard in half and I've broken my headset, because that's pretty much unexcusable out of that defense. They've been playing lights out. They're calling, good coverage when they need to, and they got absolutely blasted there on that 4th down. I think it definitely took them by surprise.
Option run there. Auburn, Lemmy able to fake out both linebackers there, getting some forward progress, as you and I have always talked about. Going to be a 10-yard rush, but just short of the 1st down.
Yeah, I think he was excited to do that play, and just wanted to reenact it for the cameras there as he fell down after the play.
Jason Lemmy, the senior's driving down here, looking to make it 4 straight drives to the touchdown. Going to Brody, and he's barely untouched there. Brody Bailey, the 5-yard touchdown run.
Bailey's making it easy right there. They've got to figure it out, right? They made the necessary halftime adjustments, as we had been kind of saying. It only took them a minute and a half to march down the field to answer back Ohio State's run that they had made. And, all of a sudden they're like, it doesn't matter. We'll just take the lead and keep it and put the pressure back on Ohio State. And, for the first time in the game, Ohio State's feeling it, trying to have to come back from this deficit.
Absolutely. Again, Ohio State's offense is geared to do that, Ryan, but there's only so many times you can do that, and you definitely don't want to against this electric offense for Auburn. As we look at the stats here for Jason Lemmy, 13 of 18, 157 yards in the first half, 3 for 4 for 62 yards. That passing offense really looked nice on that last drive.
They're doing a good job, like you said, spreading the love out. Obviously, they do a nice rushing attack, and they do a nice passing attack as well, as Ohio State was kind of, trailing behind and favoring in the pass. But look to see if Auburn can kind of dial back these risky plays and play a little bit more conservative, because what they have going is working, and we'd hate to see them call that risky play and get blown up again like Ohio State did the last drive.
Esteban with the big-time catch there. 1st and 10 for Radloff. Play-action pass, feeling some pressure. Able to get it off, but hits the Auburn defender there. Great coverage by Brock Lee.
Rare bad decision by Radloff right there. There was nothing doing. His wide receiver was double coverage, and he just kind of threw the ball into the back of an Auburn helmet.
In the center, here's Radloff. Auburn sending the blitz. Gets it off just in time there. Big-time catch by Esteban. His 2nd of the drive.
Good answer from that bad pass before. He kind of just shook it off, gave it to Esteban. They picked up a 1st down and were able to reset the chains and just keep this momentum alive.
First and 10 here. Radloff play action once again, throwing it to the middle of the field. They seem to be liking that, Ryan, as Arthur Hanna gets his second catch of the night.
Hanna's been pretty quiet, but obviously he's got 2 for 25. He's averaging over 13 yards a catch. You know, they got to see if Radloff maybe goes to some of his other wide receivers if Auburn's keying in on some of the other weapons that they have.
Radloff almost slips and falls there.
Whoa,
almost intercepted by the defender. And Jalen Thomas again capitalizing on that play. Pushes for an extra maybe 10 yards there, Ryan.
Thomas is closing in on 200 yards reception for the night. He's having himself a hell of a night, but what a weird game call we've had. I think this weather's got something to do with it, between the designed fumble that, you know, Lemmy had in that first quarter to that kind of play that looked like it was intercepted, and then Jalen Thomas stole it away and still was able to make, you know, another 12 yards after contact.
See what they got here. Radloff throwing it to the open man. Almost intercepted once again as the Auburn defender. This time it's going to be Braxton and Kovac.
Yeah, obviously we can see, you know, that Radloff's got that kind of power behind his arm, but, you know, there's only so many times you can attempt to thread the needle before you get burned.
Radloff throwing to John Carroll here. First catch of the drive is Carroll, as he's had 7 on the night so far. Could be faced with 3rd and 5 here. Radloff 26 of 36 on the night. Very pass-heavy Ohio State offense here. Going to be surveying the field. Throws down the middle of the field. Finds the open man. It's going to be Hanna. 13-yard catch.
We had just spoken about that a play or two ago, saying that you need to get some of these wide receivers like Hanna more involved. Auburn's kind of settling down, trying to cover Jalen Thomas, maybe even double coveraging him, and Radloff needs to make those necessary adjustments to abuse the powers that he has in his hands.
Radloff, a rare run play there for Carroll. It's going to be his 8th run of the night. Carroll really quiet except for that explosive run play. Only 8 rushes of the night so far.
100%, but it doesn't matter, right? Because you and I were talking about stats the previous night before, and it doesn't matter that one of his rushes was for 76 yards. It's going to go down that he's got, you know, 8 rushes for 106 so far. So on paper, he's having a hell of a night, and he's doing a very good job trying to fill in as that pseudo wide receiver for this Radloff and company.
Talking about a hell of a night, Jack Marshall with his sack there. Lots of pressure from the Auburn D-line. Looked like Ryder Mears had a part in that. Moose Merciless from the other side. Great pressure by the Auburn D-line.
It's what you need to do when you see that pressure that Auburn can create right there. You know, Ohio State's about 60% on first downs right now. This would be a big stop if Auburn can hold them here.
They're up 35-28. Auburn's offense has been big. Let's see if the defense can help him out here. 3rd and goal for Radloff. He's been looking good all night long off his back foot, trying to find the open man and not able to complete it. Great defense there for Auburn.
Absolutely, and you had mentioned his name earlier before, but Ryder Mears, that big pickup for Auburn in this last offseason for season 15. He's been, you know, every which way for this Auburn defense and comes up big and is credited with the tackle there to force them to kick the field goal.
With the field goal up and good, Auburn is still up 35-31, but they get the stop in the red zone. They're still up here, Ryan, and they've scored the last 4 drives.
They're looking to make it 5th, right? Auburn's pretty much firing on all cylinders. They made the necessary adjustments that in the half. They're calling the right plays. They're making sure that they're not getting caught out with some, you know, silly penalties to drive backwards. They have the answer for Ohio State's offense, and they're full control right now.
Look at the highlights here. Radloff's had a great night there. Nice dot to Thomas here. As you look at the quarterback, Lemmy throwing another dot to his favorite man of the night, Thane Lewis, Ryan. It's been the Thane Lewis and the Jalen Thomas show so far.
Yeah, Lewis and Thomas have just absolutely been showing out for their teams. They're showing why they're starting wide receivers for these prevalent, you know, and storied teams, as we see that awesome run that obviously was 76 yards for, you know, just an amazing mismatch, if you will. We had talked about Auburn has been kind of suffering with these, you know, risks that they've been taking, and it looks like that they've settled down and got some going.
Lemmy looking to make it 5 straight drives to score here. 1st and 10, option run going up the middle. Brody Bailey, who's been heating up there for the 8-yard rush.
Not mad at it at all, right? Ohio State's kind of confused how they want to stop it, because Auburn's doing such a good job at being able to close, you know, the gap between the run plays and the pass plays, and Ohio State's just kept guessing.
Poison so far as we see the screen to the outside. Nice play there by Lemmy. Going to Kevin Kretzer, the second, with a 4-yard catch.
it's interesting to see these players and how they react after they catch the ball or, try to break a tackle, things of that nature. I think the rain's starting to soak up that field down there because he kind of just, stutter stepped and could have broke it pretty big.
Speaking of breaking it pretty big, it looked like Lemmy was stopped in the back of the field there, but jukes through multiple defenders as we watch the highlight here. Goes through 1, 2, diving, and he's finally brought down at the end there by Matt Fields. That's a elusive quarterback there, Ryan.
Absolutely, yeah. That was just a great job by Lemmy all around. We had talked about his seniority and his ability to lead this lead this offense into some more points, and he made a great run there.
Looked like Auburn was trying to throw another screen pass. It looked like he was open there, but Lemmy got a little excited and hit the man who was supposed to block for him.
It's okay, things happen. They got to just shake it off, and he's got to look forward to the next play.
They're looking forward to the same exact play on the next play. Thane Lewis capitalizing on that 7-yard reception, 3rd and 3. Ryan, it looks like the Ohio State cornerbacks are playing it back on these receivers so far.
Yeah, they got to tighten up those assignments right there. Obviously, you got a guy like Thane Lewis right there. He's got over 130 yards and, having himself a great night. They got to come up with an answer quick.
Talk about a great night. Alex Hill, 2nd tackle. Brody Bailey looked like he had some room to work with there, but brought down there. The tight end tried to block, couldn't hold him. Tough play and a great stop for the Buckeyes.
Ohio State's been known for the physicality on the field, and that play was basically, just puts on exhibition just how physical they get down there when they get these one-on-one drills.
Ohio State fumbles the punt there, able to get it back. Update over on Twitch. UNC scores another touchdown. They're up 45-34 over West Virginia. 5 minutes and 14 seconds left in the 4th.
That seems to be a nail-biter there.
Seems like a great game. 2 electric offenses over there. You see Ohio State and their electric offense. Logan Radloff, play action to the screen. Going to find the open man. It's going to be Auburn with the defender there. They kept pressing him all night long, and he had enough of it. It's going to be number 12 corner. That's going to be Cole Smith.
The muff pump right there is exactly, that kind of prelude into how kind of off-kiltered Ohio State's been. And as I mentioned earlier, you can only try to throw the needle. Radloff has amazing power, but he's been kind of making some questionable calls, trying to, put it in his wide receiver hands. And finally, Auburn's able to come up with the interception there, and a huge chance at the momentum swing here to try to put some more points on the board.
So we heard the marching band there congratulate their boys here. Brody Bailey getting 2-yard rush. Just a quick little tidbit there. Cole Smith had the sack earlier as a sophomore, 3-star from Davison, Michigan. 3 stars of people too, Ryan, as we see there.
3 stars of people too, yep.
2nd and 8 here. Lemmy trying to find something, throws it to the outside. Gabriel Miller with the 4-yard reception. Another 3rd down here though, Ryan.
Auburn and this offense should be feeling pretty comfortable right now. They're in the driver's seat. They need to do a little bit better converting on 3rd down, as they're 3 for 9.
3rd and 4 here. Halfback. Going to be a screen there. Ohio State was all over it. Brody Bailey getting 1 yard, but not enough here.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, as I'm surprised that they're going for it right now.
Going for it here, Ryan. Interesting play call. They're 1 for 1 of the night. They rewarded them last time with 2. They got here 4th and 3. He's got some time. He's throwing to the end zone. Finding the open man. Rewards him again. Thane Lewis. The 30-yard touchdown reception.
I would hate to be on the bus ride home. A short bus from the stadium as they're playing in Ohio State. But that was just 2 for 2 now that, 4th downs, they've been absolutely destroyed as far as Ohio State goes. And I know that no coach is happy watching that play unfold.
This is tough for Auburn. Again, they're not a team that's super aggressive, because they're very balanced on offense with the pass and rush. But it just seems like the perfect play call. It's a chess match we've got here, Ryan. Once again, Lemmy finds the open man, and they score. Great play and a great game over here.
Perfect play call indeed. And yeah, you said it yourself. We're talking about it. I think the difference between these two teams, obviously Ohio State hasn't really done a balanced job at running and passing, but Auburn's just 100% full dialed up on the trickery, if you will, and going for it on 4th down, catching Ohio State basically at their weakest and taking full advantage of it. Tack that on with the interception that forced that touchdown just then, and Auburn keeps it up. They've got 14 hurries, a knockdown, and 5 sacks as the defense, all on Radloff. It's going to be quite an uphill battle to try to come back as they're down 11 points.
Absolutely. Ohio State has the offense in the passing game to stay in it, but they've got to be quick here. Feeling the pressure here. Radloff sacked again. Raven Remington with the sack.
Unacceptable. Nothing to take away from Raven Remington. Obviously, we've been calling his name all night as he's been getting that pressure and what's needed for Auburn to get to that Ohio State offense there, but that's just unacceptable. You know, Radloff's basically staring right at Raven, and he just needs to throw that ball away and make better decisions.
Tough play there. Looked like Radloff was zoned in on somebody, not able to do it and get it out in time. Radloff faced the 2nd and 17 here. 15-yard line, man in motion here. Looks like the tight end going to be staying back and blocking to help stop Remington. He does that. Radloff able to get it off in time, and it looks like it almost came down as Jalen Thomas there.
Can't be doing that, right? He still looks like he's kind of rattled in the pocket. He needs to take a breather, really slow down, think about his throws, because he just kind of lofted that up there, and I'm surprised that wasn't picked off by Auburn.
Those plays are always tough there, lofty ones. Going to be another man staying back to block. Ohio State finds the open man. Who else but Jalen Thomas? 25-10, 50-10-5. Touchdown, Ohio State.
For the 3rd time, Thomas has come up big on that pass play. Auburn has not had an answer for that, and that's exactly what Ohio State needed to kind of breathe some life into their team. You know, it's still got a ton of football to go. We got all the 4th quarter. We're winding down here on the 3rd, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? That connection to Thomas and that run that he makes with his speed and the way he goes off that line, you know, he's going to look to do that to Auburn a couple more times, and, you know, to try to etch this Ohio State win if they can make it happen.
Thomas, the 5'8", 205-pound sophomore elite receiver from Los Angeles, California, playing in Ohio State. Definitely changed the weather here, but it's not affecting him at all. Enjoying that Gatorade on the sideline.
Yeah, he's a little gassed right now. You know, how many times can you basically run the whole length of the football field in a football game? I think he's done it about 4 times over.
Absolutely. You see Auburn get the ball back here. Nice return there by Kretzer, the second 31-yard return.
What's crazy to think about, though, right, is that Ohio State still has those big momentum plays like they just done. They've stuck to their game plan, done it exactly right, but that time they're still behind by 4 points.
Scoring update over there. West Virginia gets a field goal. They have the ball with 1 minute and 35 seconds, down 8. Let's see what they can do over there. Make sure you guys help out. Support on Twitch as well.
Be interesting to see if they can score a touchdown there and maybe go for the 2-point conversion to force an overtime.
Definitely got a great game, both of them. We got 2 more games tonight as well, one on Twitch, one on YouTube here. Man in motion, Lemmy, the great awkward-looking play, able to get a tough 1-yard gain there.
I'm not sure if he actually made it to the line or not. I think the refs were a little bit, you know, feeling good and trying to give a little bit of charity down there. But it was a very one-yard, you know, hard run by Lemmy to move the chains and reset it.
1st and 10 here, under a minute left in the 3rd here. Going to the halfback once again, Brody Bailey. He's chunking away here, Ryan. Looking super impressive so far.
Yeah, Bailey's got 60 yards so far. You know, he's not necessarily super flashy. He doesn't have those breakaway runs like John Carroll's had, but he's definitely a workhorse for this Auburn offense.
And the Ohio State corners are playing back here. Going to the screen is Auburn. Great play call. Nick James with his 3rd catch of the night.
Nick James is trying to heat up. We'll see if he can get it going in the 4th quarter for sure. But Auburn's, you know, calm, cool, and collected, making the right choices, making the right plays, and they're just marching down the field.
Run play to Brody Bailey here, getting a 5-yard rush, Ryan.
Nothing really doing there. Obviously, he's got about a 4-yard average, and he's got himself 2 touchdowns, and here we are in a close game still.
It's 42-38. Auburn is up and looking to hold on for the win here. Don't miss this exciting conclusion as you're watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube.
And it's the beginning of the 4th quarter, so we know what that is. Everybody get your 4s in chat. If you guys participate, you might actually get a Rage back. We didn't get a chance to call one last night because there wasn't too many people that did it, but I believe in YouTube right now. I think we have what it takes to get a random fact.
Yeah, definitely want to rage back here, guys. Throw the 4s up in chat as we see Lemmy again dialed in there with the completion. Going to be shotgun formation here. 1st and 10. Man in motion here. Possible option 1 play again here. Going to be doing exactly that. Got some room to work. Lemmy able to get a tough 6-yard rush, but blasted by the safety in.
Auburn's done a better job, I think, between the two teams at just absolutely spreading love across all the field. Pretty much every wide receiver's gotten multiple receptions. They've made big plays everywhere, and they can rely on their quarterback and halfback for the run game. And I think that's what, Ohio State's kind of trying to fail to answer to here.
4 touchdowns in the red zone. Ohio State looking to stop the option play. The D-line tried to get him, but missed it there, Ryan.
Absolutely, yeah. Good credit to Ohio State and that D-line trying to put the pressure on there, but sometimes they move a little too fast and can't stop in time or can't wrap up, and Lemmy made it pay.
Gavin McFadden with the tackle there for Ohio State. 3rd and 1 here, going to Brody. Once again, the Brody gets some positive yardage, brought even closer to the end zone at the end there as he gets 9 yards on the ground.
Positive yardage and a lucky roll over the top of that Ohio State defender as they're knocking on the door here looking to score and widen this deficit even more.
Auburn going to be spread 5 wide. Hennessy threw their risky play. I do not like this Auburn offense throwing this close to the end zone.
I don't either. You've proven it time and time again that the combination between Brody and Lemmy is pretty much unstoppable. That's how they got this far down here. They just need to go back to it.
2nd and goal here, option run. They're going to the big man, Gabe Miller, not able to get it. Gets 2 yards, gets closer, but not enough for the touchdown.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if I like that play call. We had said that we wanted them to kind of run it in there, but I think if they had Brody in there, that probably would have came away with 6.
You must have heard your Brody's in the end zone backfield there, and he scores 3rd touchdown of the night. The Brody's going all out tonight, Ryan.
Yep, Bailey's going to obviously finish this game if the Auburn wins, and I'm sure they're going to go enjoy a little bit, maybe some Bailey's on him for the night, as he's just doing everything he needs to do, right? He makes those kind of touchdown runs look easy, but he's kind of darting and weaving in between O-line and D-line, trying to make things happen, and Auburn's sitting pretty again, up 11.
Ryan, you and I were talking about it over there on Twitch. West Virginia had the ball down 8. They scored a touchdown, and they stopped North Carolina. They're going to overtime over there on Twitch. Make sure to show out and show up, guys.
That seems to be a pretty good game. Oh, look, a clipping call again.
The infamous clipping call. We seem to get a couple of games. This time, Robert Jones III with
Can't
the
be doing
call.
that. Ohio State looks really discombobulated right now. They muffed the second kick return, basically. I think the other muff was a punt. They're getting clipping calls, and they seem kind of just not really in a position to have an answer, but they need to if they want to try to win this football game.
Radloff with the rare option play. I like the play call there. 11-yard rush, showing some balance here.
Absolutely. Good legs on Radloff. Obviously, he's quite large. He's 6'3", 227, and he just had what it takes to march down the field and pick up about 11 yards.
The quarterback from Amarillo, Texas with the play there. 1st and 10. Going to be under center for this one here. Ryan Auburn sending the blitz. Going to the check down there. Quick play. It's going to be Corbin Archer with his 2nd catch of the night.
We'll see if quick plays are kind of, the mantra of this drive. I don't really say I necessarily agree with that, as they do quite well with throwing those, big long bombs to Jalen Thomas over the top.
Okay. And in motion there, the person you were talking about, Jalen Thomas, tried to find some room there.
Hate the play call.
Not a good play there whatsoever. Eric Nickel with the play.
Yep, first time we call Nickel's name. Obviously, he's got 1 tackle and 1 tackle for loss. But Ohio State's sitting better on their third down conversions. We'll see if they kind of try to come up big here with a big pass play.
3rd and 6 here. They're going to the halfback here. Carroll fighting, able to hit off the second one as well. Ryder Mears wasn't able to bring him down. Carroll makes him pay.
Unfortunately, nothing going, not trying to talk trash on Ryder Mears, but with him being so new to the league, when you come up against Carroll like that, you're probably going to lose that, especially if you don't have that experience in those games played behind you. He's definitely a way more of a physical player.
Carroll not easy to be brought down, as we saw there. Radloff going to be giving it right back to him, rewarding him for that tough run. Carroll with the 4-yard rush.
It seems that Ohio State is sticking with that kind of short yardage way for this drive. It's working pretty well for them. They're picking on, on average about between 4 to 6 yards of play, but they're doing a good job at, creating space and trying to get back into the opposite end zone.
Interesting play call there. Definitely balancing up this drive here, Ryan. Design quarterback draw, maybe able to get a yard there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what we would call that on paper, except for falling over an offensive lineman again, as he seems to have done quite a few times.
Radloff finding the open man, and he's going to get a touchdown.
We're switching it up, though.
Esteban, Ryan.
Radloff's just 5 yards short of that 500-yard mark right there. Esteban's picking up some yardage. He's inching ever closer to that career receiving yards record of 2,000. It'd be interesting to see the next time we get a ticker on the bottom to see how close he actually is.
Ohio State going for 2 here to make it a field goal game, and they get it there. Great play there by Radloff. Great catch by Hanna. Auburn is up, but they're only up by 3 here, Ryan.
Yep, all the pressure relies on Ohio State defense right now. Auburn has plenty of time to try to score. They're up 3. You know, they're still holding on to that lead. You know, you could argue that they're in the driver's seat, but the pressure definitely is felt by Ohio State defense to see if they can come up big with the stop here.
So look at Pacific Life game summary here, Ryan. Very close game. Obviously, Ohio State more of a dynamic offense through the air, but very similar the stats there.
100%, yeah. Ohio State just has Auburn beat by 100 total yardage. But it's definitely even. It's been back and forth all night, and it's definitely one of the better games to be called, and very exciting for sure.
Lemmy with the option run here. Big play there. Jason Lemmy with the 9-yard rush. Quick update over there on Twitch. We're going to 2 OT. Both teams get a field goal. UNC back out on the field on Twitch.
Oh, you think we're going to get overtime in this game?
We might, as this game's going. We might have 2 games going to overtime. Let's see what Lemmy can do here. Option run, Ohio State.
Oh, blown up.
They've had enough, Ryan.
Yeah, they're not really being fooled right there. McFadden said, enough's enough. I've got 10 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. And he kind of just almost showed out against Lemmy on that one. He says, okay, no more running like that. I'm going to set you back some time. But keep an eye on that clock, right? Because as long as Auburn's sitting there running down these plays, they're running down that clock.
Auburn here, Lemmy faced with 3rd and 5. Brody trying to fight, and he does, Ryan.
Yep, I don't think there's anybody on that Auburn offense that has a bigger heart than Brody. You know, he's just doing everything he needs to do, and he's coming up big when plays are needed. He's keeping his composure. He hasn't made any mistakes so far, and so far they're trying to hang on to this lead.
Yeah, in most games these screens don't work, but Auburn and their offense has been clicking on it. Nick James, the 5-yard screen play. Big play for sure. Definitely Lemmy dialing up in this second half here. Facing the 2nd and 5. Going to be a halfback draw. Actually, a play action. Athletic play call there. And a catch by Nate Hayes. Holy moly.
Yeah, good one-handed backwards catch kind of by Hayes. He was moving backwards towards the quarterback, but he extended his arm to catch the ball behind him in a weird kind of way of motion was. But good job by Auburn to keep that drive alive.
Absolutely. There's a reason he's on the field and we're in the stands here, Brian, as Kevin Kretzer gets the catch.
Oh, yeah. If I would have tried that, I would have dislocated my shoulder or would have broke something.
I definitely would have had the same thing. Gavin McFadden for Ohio State with the tackle there. As you and I were just talking about, the clock is ticking here. It looks like Ohio State's calling a blitz to try to stop that, and they do here as he's brought down. Looks like he may have lost a yard, but they're give him back to the original line of scrimmage there.
Yeah, original line of scrimmage, nothing doing there, but that important thing that Auburn's in control of is that clock, right? We're approaching 3 minutes. The Auburn's up 3. They're about to be within field goal range, and if they can keep answering Ohio State as they have been doing, as long as this clock runs down, they might win by default, just because Ohio State doesn't have enough time to come back.
A walk on Gabe Miller trying to find some room, not able to do it, losing 2 yards. Ryan, this is arguably one of the biggest 3rd downs here as we're facing the 3rd and 11. Lemmy going to be faced with a big play call. Let's see what they've got here, Ryan. They're going to be calling some clock here, burning it a little bit. What are you looking for here?
We're looking, obviously, I don't know if we're going to try to get Bailey out of the backfield to be open, looking to something towards the sideline, maybe the bottom half of our screen to the right side, trying to get some mismatch up with these on these corners.
They're trying to go and get something here as we're under 3 minutes here. 3rd and 11. Auburn with the ball here. It's going to be finding something. They send the pressure. Lemmy throws it down the field. Almost intercepted by Ohio State. Corey Dickerson with the deflection.
Yeah, good attempt by Lemmy. Obviously, we had talked a little bit earlier about Radloff making some poor decisions. I think that one will be notched as a poor decision from Lemmy. Ohio State had a big chance to try to come up with an interception there, but they did exactly what was needed and forced them outside of field goal range and forced them to turn the ball over.
Going to be a touchback here, Ryan. It's 49-46. Ohio State's offense has been explosive but inconsistent, as I say that with their 46 points. Anyways, what are you looking for here? So we look to Ohio State get the ball here.
we're looking to see Ohio State make sound, smart decisions and just prove that they know what they're doing. They have the number 6 besides their team for a reason. Carroll's over 138 yards rushing. Obviously Radloff has proved himself as over 500 yards passing. They just need to show that they're in control of it, even though they're down 3, and do what they do best and come back to win.
2 straight positive plays here, Joe.
All right, as we should see Radloff come back from the shotgun formation. He throws a quick out route over there, and it's complete to none other than Joe Adams. He picks up 18 yards on that reception. He's doing pretty good, about 10 yards average right there. We'll see if Ohio State has what it takes to keep the drive alive. Looks like we've got a 3 wide receiver set to the top screen, 1 near bottom, as Radloff is in interception again. Nothing doing there as Logan Radloff runs forward for about 8 yards rush. Welcome to those joining us from Twitch, where West Virginia takes down UNC in a double overtime game, as we have a very close game. Ohio State is trailing by 3, down 3 to Auburn, 46-49, as they've got a minute and a half left. 2nd and 2. We'll see what Radloff and Co. has what it takes. Absolute bullet over the middle, but it's unfortunately dropped. Nothing doing there. Good answer by that Auburn defense to force a pivotal 3rd down and 2 here to hopefully seal the game in Auburn's favor. Radloff's got some time to throw in the pocket, and it hits a wide open wide receiver this time. Unfortunately, it's not dropped in Auburn's favor. Joe Adams comes up with his 6th reception, and they reset the chains for a 1st down. Man in motion across Radloff there as they're in a shotgun formation. 3 wideouts. Handoff up the middle, nothing going as John Carroll is pushed back for 5 yards, and Ohio State takes a timeout. Minute left, and they're facing a do or die here. Shotgun formation again as Radloff's looking for an open wide receiver, finds his man down the sideline. Cody Davis manages to stay in bounds, unfortunately doesn't get out of bounds, and Ohio State has to burn their 2nd timeout. 3rd and 7 here with 56 seconds left to go. Good attempt by Radloff to throw it into the end zone. Unfortunately, there was nothing doing there. Great defense by Auburn, and so Ohio State has to settle the kick here to try to tie it up. The kick is up, and it's good. Just like that, Ohio State comes in, manages to tie the game up. We're looking at 49 all, 48 seconds left in the game. Auburn has led this game series 4-2. It seems Ohio State's not going to accept that. You can kind of see some Auburn defenders there upset that they scored the field goal, as we've got 48 seconds, do or die, to see if Auburn can make something happen or get within field goal again and try to win this game. Javon Davis with a 22-yard return. That'll set them up with a 1st and 10 for Auburn. They've got all 3 timeouts here. They got 45 seconds, so as long as they make the right plays here and they do what they need to do and get out of bounds, they should be able to do what's necessary to win this game by field goal. We'll see if that plays out as we get some recaps here by some pivotal pivotal plays that have been throughout the game.
And I am back here, Ryan. Sorry about that. As it looks like they scored here, Ryan. Can you update us real quick?
They did, yeah. Ohio State came down, guns blazing, trying to make something happen. Auburn had a pivotal 3rd down hold twice and forced Ohio State to settle for the field goal, as we're just almost inside the 40-second mark here for the rest of the game. Ohio State did have to burn 2 timeouts, though, which doesn't play in their favor. Auburn got to keep all 3, and Auburn's trying to march down the field here for a field goal and win it.
2nd and 10 here. Jason Lemmy throwing to the outside, unable to complete it. Ohio State defense looks real good here so far.
Absolutely. As we had just said, there was a double overtime game earlier. There's another overtime game, overtime. We'll see if Auburn and Ohio State follows that same way, but so far Auburn's not making the plays that they're needed to go.
That was a close one. Payne Lewis looked like he was inbounds, but had to come back, Brian.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go for it. That's pretty tricky right there, that 4th and inches. So far, the refs have been giving it to Auburn in their favor, but not that play.
Not that play. Ohio State 30 seconds here. Great field position pending this return. One timeout here, Ryan. Gregorio, Esteban, obviously Thomas has been out there. There's so many places to go to, but where do you want to see Ohio State go?
We're going to obviously hope to see if that we can get that Radloff-Thomas connection. You know, the speed that Jalen Thomas has, even though he's 5'8", he's extremely quick on his feet. You know, they just need that long bomb in order to make something happen.
They go to Thomas there. Clock is ticking here. 10-yard reception. We've got under 15 seconds. We've got a great game here. 2nd and inches, Ryan. Going to be shotgun formation, 4 wide. Throwing to the outside. Getting out of bounds here, Ryan.
Good job by Hannon.
This is a close game, Ryan. I mean, the wind and the rain, I don't think it's close enough for a field goal. They've got to get a little bit closer here.
Yeah, I would say you're looking at maybe trying to get a 20-yard pass right here, maybe about 15 yards, set up for a field goal, and just win the game.
Throwing a deep bomb.
There it is.
Over there. Jalen Thomas.
Out of bounds as well.
Ryan.
I wouldn't even play with it. You got 5 seconds left. You just got to kick the field goal for the win here.
Ryan, 311 yards receiving.
It's absolutely light out. Like I said, you asked me what I wanted to see, and we wanted to see that Jalen Thomas connection. This is it for all the marbles. Ohio State can hold on and upset Auburn in this series so far and notch their 3rd win.
Ohio State going up for the kick, and the kick is good. 2 seconds here for Auburn, ending a wild return or anything like that. Ryan, holy smokes! Wow.
Yeah, holy smokes indeed. You know, it's leaving us almost speechless up here. Ohio State showing that they're cool, calm, and collected, right? They had to do absolutely pretty much everything perfect on that last drive, under 40 seconds to play. They did, and it looks like they're going to come away with a win here in a phenomenal game by both teams.
Kretzer with a nice return there. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Ryan, as we look at the stats here, what do you see? Great game here.
Radloff obviously had a great game. You see right there just showing that Lemmy had 461 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 turnovers, but it wasn't enough. Ohio State led by Radloff, and obviously having Jalen Thomas to his right, backed up by Carroll. There was just nothing doing for them there. Auburn, I think, called some risky plays at the time, tried to make some trickery work, came away with some pivotal 4th downs, fought hard to try to win this game, but unfortunately they just came up short, and Ohio State just kind of showed that they had that little bit superiority and, definitely cemented that 6 next to their name. We'll see if that changes heading into next week, if they can get that 5th spot, but phenomenal game by both teams and just absolute great effort by both sides.
Another great top 15 action here for sure. Ryan, appreciate you. Thank you again to everybody. Thank you to our executive producer, Mike Peters, and my broadcast partner, Ryan Recca, for tonight's action. And on behalf of our entire crew here, I'm Zach Davis. You've been watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube. We'll see you later tonight.